Want to gain early access for new Snob episodes, take part in polls or AMAs? Then help support us over at Patreon by clicking the links below in the comments or in the description, or go directly to patreon.com/thecinemasnob. Thanks for watching.
Okay, I know what you're thinking, people. Turkey and gravy soda, sugar cookie soda. Those sound like, well, sugar cookie, that could also be a Christmas flavor. But turkey and gravy soda, well, that sounds like it's for the Thanksgiving season. And it's not even Halloween yet. My thing with that, and believe me, that crossed my mind as well. My thing on that, though, if there's any holiday that deserves to bleed over another one, Thanksgiving has earned that right. No, Halloween's not even here yet. I think that Thanksgiving gets a free pass to do something related to it before another holiday that comes in between. Man, this takes me back. Here it is, people. This is the new one. Jones Soda. I don't know when the last time was that Jones Soda put out their yearly. It's their version of the McRib. Just they say it's over, but then it comes back every year. Except with this, I think it actually has been a while since they've done it. Since they're promoting this like it's been a long time. This is it. This is the turkey and gravy soda. And boy, does looking at this take me back to the early days of Brad Tries. I can't believe I've been doing this show for so long. 2010, I think, was the first one. Was the first Brad Tries episode, and it wasn't even intended to be to turn into a thing, let alone like 13 years of it. The first one was on. It was just a video called Brad Tries Mountain Dew Whiteout, because that whole Dewmocracy thing was going out, and doing that kind of thing was certainly still in my wheelhouse. Like, I love gimmicky sodas, gimmicky fast food stuff, fast food and soda history, short-lived things. So it was already kind of in my ballpark to talk about that. But I remember I did the Brad Tries Mountain Dew Whiteout. There was a lot of filler videos we did at the time. This is the blip days. I'm sure that maybe I was taking long to edit something or something like that. Maybe I was going to be gone for the weekend. Maybe I was shooting something else and just kind of wanted a vlog to put up, which, again, there were more of those back then in the blip days. So I just did that, like Brad Tries Mountain Dew Whiteout, and it really, really took off. People really liked it, and I was like, well, I guess I can turn this into a thing and just like keep doing it. It takes zero effort. Like, that's good for whenever I need some filler, if I'm at like a con or something like that, or to tie. Really, eventually it turned into just, and it's still the case today, where it's just kind of an excuse to try something new, to go out and eat something new that's over at a fast food place. Like, later this week, I'm gonna do a short on there's a new spicy chicken sandwich over at like Potbelly. There's a spicy version of like the Popeyes chicken sandwich, so it is kind of like well, this is no, I'm doing it for the show and not just, simply because I really want to try this sandwich or the new spicy Potbelly going on. But it kind of turned into a yearly thing with the Thanksgiving ones, because Jones Soda used to put up, they used to have these Thanksgiving packs. Like, now it's just, they re-released the turkey flavor and this sugar cookie flavor, which we're also going to try out. But it's just, yeah, I have a ton of them sitting over there, by the way, because you buy them in bulk. They just send you like a cardboard box of them. They used to put together these like really themed looking packs with like this color packaging and everything that were very like holiday colors. I think they would also do it for Halloween, and they would also do it for Christmas as well. And there was a few years there where we would do the Thanksgiving flavors, and I don't remember. I think we were doing old bottles of them. We were going back through like the years before we started doing Brad Tries, I think, and just ordering up old holiday boxes of these turkey and gravy soda. So there was like a few years they did those, and there was a bunch of them in those packs. There was like, I was glad we had the chat going on beforehand, because I couldn't remember what I thought of a lot of them. I'm sure a lot of them were kind of flat since they were old, but I didn't remember if I thought the turkey and gravy one was gross or not. I do remember hating the Brussels sprouts one that tasted like carbonated melted old butter. Like it didn't sit well with me. For a while, that was my answer for what the worst thing was that I had, until I later had the ranch dressing soda. The Reggie bar is a whole other thing, but I was glad the chat was going on because they were talking about it. I saw Campbellzilla in the chat and a couple others were mentioning like, oh yeah, I think he really hated the pea flavored one. Pea, not that's the one thing we haven't had on Brad Tries. Piss. No, like the pea soup flavored or something like that. With Jack over there, it's been close to having Brad Tries peas sometimes. With dodging the stream as it shoots at me, with Jack really wanting there to be Brad Tries urine. There's no camera here, son. It'll be useless. Wait till we're on camera. No, wait. Actually, let's not do that. So this kind of takes me back again. Like I said, it hits me, that I've been doing this particular thing for so long. But then also thinking about it's like, oh yeah, I guess it makes sense when you do something so long. There's repeat episodes, even on the Cinema Snob. There's like update episodes. There's a couple episodes on Friday the 13th Part 5. A couple on I've re-reviewed stuff like Rocketeer Decision and Super Hornio Brothers, things like that. Whereas on this show, there's a couple episodes on Crystal Pepsi, a couple episodes on Zima, a couple of KFC Double Down episodes. And so now this, I can't remember if this is the first time I've had this fresh. But if you're looking at this turkey and gravy soda right here, if you're looking at this turkey gravy soda and you're thinking like it's way too soon to put those calories on my thighs, my gut, my ass, all of that, don't worry, people. It's 0 calories. It's all good. Yes, sure, it is colored a little, going back to pee for a little bit, colored a little bit like your Thanksgiving urine. Or actually, it's colored a little bit like the old-fashioned cocktail I have on Thanksgiving evenings. So this might be the first time I've had it fresh. I'm not entirely sure, but it's been so long since I've had the old bottles. It's been too long for me to compare it to how the flat version of it tasted. Thanks for the super chat, by the way. We'll get to that after the soda, after story time, and when I tuck y'all in for bed, then we get to the super chat. But dude, conveniently, it's a twist off too. So I know our friends who are in the comments who are like at this time code is when he drinks it. I know they're going nuts right now. I'm about to try it here in a second. All right, let me open it first. I think it's a twist off. Yeah, there we go. All right, cool. It's a twist off. Well, I don't have a bottle opener here, people. See you next time. All right, let's. That mostly just smells like bottle. It's Grandpa's Thanksgiving. Okay. I don't remember the other one fizzing quite so much, but let's see if they've altered their ingredients at all for the Jones turkey and gravy soda. I don't know. It's like, it's a soda. It's not even warm, but it feels warm. Like, somehow, even if you refrigerate it, the turkey taste of it just somehow feels slightly microwaved in your mouth. Okay. That is, it could be grosser. I'll go ahead and say that. It's not great. if I finish it, it's just because I'm streaming and the bottle's sitting right there and I need something to drink. It has just like, I wish it had a heavier taste to it. I do, because it's like if you're gonna do the turkey and gravy soda, go all out, up the spices a bit more, kick it up a notch. What it really tastes like is just kind of seltzer water with a very, 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 very light turkey seasoning or gravy seasoning. Like if you had those turkey and gravy like Pringles, those Thanksgiving chips that are actually pretty good. They put out some Thanksgiving chips last season as well. I don't know if Pringles did, but was it Lay's? I can't remember. I know I did a Brad tries on them, but again, a sign I've done done a lot of these episodes. This tastes like a lightly salted version of that, or you take those spices that are on those chips and a very light version of that and put in here. Yeah, it could use more of a stuffing taste. It could be chunkier. This is a very light gravy. If it was thicker, it would almost be the crystal gravy from the, and if it was more clear, it'd be the crystal gravy from the Saturday Night Live sketch that they did back in the day. No, it needs to be more oniony. It needs to yeah, let me go for this again. Maybe the problem is that the taste of the beef stock and everything for the gravy, maybe that is sunk to the bottom a little bit. I'm not sure, because I'm not gonna chug this. But it's back. I think that seems like it was maybe my reaction to when I did this the first time. I hope that they do the thing where they release like the theme packaging with the ribbons on it and everything. That was nice and festive. Okay, we do have this other one here. The sugar cookie soda. Now, what they did with this was kind of cool. Don't know how it's going to taste. What they did with it was kind of cool, where they also gave you ingredients for if you want to make your own sugar cookie soda cookies. They added like these ingredients for sugar cookies. Only you replace, I forget which ingredient, if you replace one of the ingredients with the sugar cookie soda. And I am actually all about doing that sometime. Laura is not into that idea at all, but I am. She really wasn't. Like, that crossed the line for her. I showed her the sugar cookie soda, and she goes, that might not be too bad. And then I go, oh, cool, look at this like ingredients list that it gave for to make your own sugar cookie soda cookies. He's like, you're on your own on that. That almost broke my mind. More than the actual flavors of the soda. I was like, that crosses the line? Soda form's okay. Mixing it in to make actual cookies? We've had hot sauce cookies. That crosses the line. All right, well, more for me and Jack, I guess. It does look a little bit like Jack's bubble bath. Hey, by that I mean my bubble bath. When I need my me time. Okay, let's go ahead and open this one up. This was, see, they get you with the 0 calories on the turkey and gravy, but the sugar cookie cereal, that's where the 160 calories are. Well, still not that bad. There's more in a bottle of Coca-Cola. It's rare I say this about a soda. I can smell the frosting. So comparing the smells, this one's significantly more frosting smelling. The other one, I didn't get much of a smell about that. So this already wins in the smell department. So this one is definitely flavorful. The other one, blindfolded, I don't know if I would have been able to tell you what it was flavored like. Like, knowing it was turkey and gravy, it was like, yeah, I can kind of taste it in there a little bit. It's very faint. This one, no, you get that. They've nailed it so good on this one. It's like I can also taste the sprinkles. I can even like they've nailed it so much. Blindfolded, I think I would even be like, that's shaped like a Christmas tree. And it's very good. I like sugar cookies. This is really good. If you want a good frosting soda, you got it. This would make a good mixture if you are making some cookies. I'm telling you. I'm gonna try this out. Laura, she might not like it. If I don't tell her what it is, she might not like it. Or no, if I don't tell her what it is, then she might like it. I made some. So when I did a short recently on those two new dips over at McDonald's. One is like sweet and spicy jam. It was really good. The other was a mambo flavored, I think, or something like that. So I took the sweet and spicy jam and I mixed it in. I had some left over, so I mixed it in to make some eggs the next morning. I thought they were really, really good. And at first I thought that Laura liked them too. And we were joking because I go like, yeah, I made them with the McDonald's sauces that were left over. And then some minutes go by and she says, you can have the rest. I don't know. I'm not really into this. And I go, is it because I told you it was made with the McDonald's dipping sauce? Whatever, I'm eating the rest. Sweet and spicy eggs, sure. I will make my sugar cookies, soda cookies. People will love them. Now, anymore I typically do Brad tries on the shorts. On the YouTube shorts. I upload them over to we don't keep our TikTok very active, but I'll upload them over there too. But we do, recently I've done a bunch of those shorts on Brad Tries, but some of them deserve a lot more ranting than you can do in a full minute of YouTube shorts. The Jones turkey and gravy soda and the sugar cookie one, I was like, that deserves its own full episode. But this week, I did the ghost pepper chicken fries. I guess is it always been the case with this, where a lot of places like come Halloween, they just roll out a bunch of spicy stuff so they can put fire in the commercials, I guess. So there's like a new spicy sandwich with a spicy mayo over at Popeyes. There's a spicy sandwich over at Potbelly now. I think KFC's got their spicy wings that they rolled out. So I did the ghost pepper chicken fries from from Burger King, and they were fine. It was fast foods, but the chicken fries are really good anyway. These just had a fast food kick to them. But that still doesn't mean it won't hit me later on when I'm in the middle of a walk. Me, Laura, and Jack, we're on our walk around the neighborhood that we go on every single day. Then about a half hour into it, we prepared so much for Jack to shit his pants. What happens when Dad might do the same thing? I am an older father, ladies and gentlemen. So we really should have prepared for that. No, so the cap cramps started hitting a little bit, where I was like, I need to find the nearest toilet. Laura's like, what? Jack's asleep. He doesn't look like he needs to go. No, me. They're going to come. Oh, I can feel it. They're going to come out looking exactly like the chicken fries. So eventually we made it to a bathroom in one of the restaurants close to us. So that was my adventure the other day. It's kind of my son's revenge for he hasn't gotten shit on me yet. Although I will say this is the most itchy and watery my eyes have been since Dave and I were in high school and played laser tag in the cornfield behind our house in Chatham, Illinois. Whew, man. So I think it might have something to do with fecal particles in the eye. Either that or I'm allergic to my son. So, I'm sure somewhere along the way I've changed Jack. He might have. So sometimes he's got the runs. Sometimes it looks like, oh well, there's where my missing cornmeal went. One thing leads to another. It might end up in the eyes a little bit, but he hasn't shot me with the poo stream in the eyes yet. I've dodged it. He hasn't gotten me with the urine yet either. Well, on the arm a little bit, and his own face. Poor guy. So he had some runs the other day. I I know I've mentioned like dodging shit before, but that's usually like, oh, I was busy and missed this bad movie that was in theaters. No, it's been actually like, oh, well, now I know what it's like to actually dodge shit. He's like sitting up there. He had some runs, and I could tell that he wasn't done yet because it was looking like back there, it was looking like Old Faithful people. I'm like looking at that going, hang on, I don't think the safety is on. My baby's gonna blow, and it did, and I like it didn't land off the changing table or anything like that, but it shot to the other side of the changing table, and I just like instinctively dodged a little bit. I'm like, I'm older, I'm 41 years old, my reflexes are still all right. I can finally use these quick reflexes that I haven't used since I was like a hockey goalie when I was a kid. Now I can for, again, when piss and shit are being shot at me. I'm jinxing it. I'm totally jinxing it. He's going to get me with feces tomorrow, probably. Looking at Jack when he's when he's laying there on the changing table and everything, I look at him like I don't think I'm ever going to like criticize a bad CGI baby again, because now looking at my son, like the way he lays, the way his face is and everything, bad CGI babies are kind of accurate. Because Jack, he'll be laying there like he's moving just because he can. There's no rhyme or reason to it, or the facial expressions. It does look like he is kind of glitching. The bad horror movies and like asylum movies and like talking baby CGI movies have had it right all of these years. That's totally what he looks like when he's laying there. Like he hasn't been in this body very long. He's starting to kind of figure out that the arms can be used to hold up his bottle a little bit. And his face is like almost forming a laugh. Probably because he farts more than I do. The baby wasn't even out of the hospital yet, and I remember blaming a fart on him. So he was in the this was like maybe the evening he was born, or it was really close because we were still in the hospital. And we go see him in his unit, and we're standing there. I'd been up for a while and everything, had a steady diet of some hospital food going on, and I kind of silently let one rip. My wife is sitting there going, does he need changed? Like, she's leaning her head down and everything. I'm like, totally. But wait, there's nothing in there. Well, I mean, there's a lot of babies in here. You probably just smelled one of the other ones. I could tell my wife is tired. Normally, she would have known exactly that it was me. All right. Have I talked about turkey gravy soda, sugar cookie soda, and having to take a shit because of the chicken fries, and then my son almost shitting on me, but not? Have I talked about that enough? Should we go to the super chat here soon? Real quick, though. Head on over to our Patreon. I got to promote that. Patreon.com/thecinemasnob. We got some baby pictures over there. Also, I talked about this a little bit last week when I put together this compilation video of Halloween snob episodes, but not like not the Michael Myers movies. I haven't done Halloween Ends yet, so I didn't want to make a compilation video, but I did on some other Halloween episodes like Wacko, Trick or Treat, forget, Medea Halloween is in there. It's over on Patreon, and it'll be over there for like the next year. Because I knew it was going to get hit with copyright. I kind of took it, I was like, well, I could maybe get it cleared before actual Halloween is here. But one of the companies that flagged it, one of the companies that flagged it is one that they pretty much take it till after the strike phase. That's what happened with, it's the same one that hit Christmas Evil a couple of years ago when I did a snob on Christmas Evil, and I had to go through this long process of 2 appeals, then a strike, then appealing the strike, and eventually it posted. So I had this Christmas episode that I had to promote in like February, something like that, or maybe like mid-January, I can't remember, but after the Christmas season I had to promote it. They were one of the ones on this, so I was like, there's no way I'm going to be able to get this cleared before Halloween. So it's over on Patreon right now. I'll go get it up and post it next Halloween season. That'll give me a compilation to put up then. But it's over there if you want to see some, have a nice convenient string of episodes put together. It's over 2 hours. I forget exactly how long it is, but it's over 2 hours. Is that oh, the convention. Yes. Where's my book? Oh, my stack of books is out there. Oh no, there it is. So many copies laying around the house. Just make sure it's the one with the misspellings. All right. We are going to be at Grand Rapids Comic-Con. That's November 3rd through the 5th. You can get your tickets over at grcomiccon.com. I'll be there with the DVDs, of course, Jesus Bro, the 2 Cinema Snob movies, the uncut DVDs, and most importantly, the autographed copies of my book. Yes, it is the Bruce edition with the mistakes in it and everything. So you'll have that one. I got to get through the last batch of Bruce edition copies that I have over there. So they'll be over there at Grand Rapids Comic-Con. Okay, now we can head on over to the Super Chat questions. Thanks again for being here and rambling with me like always. Okay. Jacob Matthew Crawford. Hey man, speaking of early Brad tries, remember Durian Fruit? Yeah, I do remember the Durian Fruit. Also, what's your favorite and least favorite year in film retrospective so far? The Durian Fruit. Yeah, we did Durian Fruit, and I actually liked it. Granted, I hear that it's at its... When I had it, it was like I thought it out, and the smell wasn't as strong as it usually is. But I did like it. Maybe I should get one of the stinkier ones sometime. Favorite and least favorite year in film. I loved doing 1983 because 1983 had a lot of my favorite gimmicks of the 80s. One, you had there was a lot of stuff in the 3D era in 1983. A lot of the post Porky's like teen sexploitation comedies. There was still like some slashers going on. There was more Cold War movies starting in 83. I'm sure I'm forgetting some other stuff about it, but I really loved going through 83. My least favorite, this has nothing to do with the year, but my least favorite video out of all of them. It still took a lot of work, and I liked the sections of it and everything, but the first one I did, 1980, because I was working with not the best list. I thought I was working with a completed list of all the movies in 1980, and I wasn't. There was a lot of stuff that was missing, and I tried talking about them later. Like, I touch on them, I think maybe even somewhere towards the end of that video, but I probably did in the 1981 video as well at the very beginning of it. So that one is my least favorite just because I just mistakenly missed a lot of stuff. Now I use a lot of different sources to get as many releases as I can and accurately too. Campbellzilla. Of the not all that impressive horror subgenre of internet horror, Unfriended, Fear.com, what's the best and worst you've seen of the internet stuff? Worst? Probably Grimcutty. Grimcutty, the movie that ended with the character doing an epilogue ASMR while doing an ASMR video. It's like the anti like epilogue from the Scorsese movie that's out. Both do like I'm not spoiling it, both do they try to do original things. It's a very original scene that they do in Killers of the Flower Moon. Grimcutty, when they do this ASMR thing at the end of it, it's like cringy. Like, it was terrible. Best, I don't know. I remember liking the second Unfriended better than I liked the first. I honestly remember liking Fear.com. I know I was in a way minority on that, but I thought it was well made. I liked the musical score to it. I liked that it was this cop film where it was like this serial killer it was a serial killer movie where a ghost turns up, so it kind of turns into like them hunting this ghost while also looking for this serial killer. I liked that blending of like The Ring and Seven kind of, but like with internet snuff films and stuff. Maybe if I watched it again, I wouldn't like it as much. But back then, when it came out, I actually did like it. I can remember some things about it that don't make any sense, especially like in the climax. But I remember thinking that one was really, really underrated. But again, I haven't seen it in a long time, and I did a lot of drugs back then too. Okay, let's see. That was from Campbellzilla. Okay, Danny McGraw. Hello, Brad. A couple of weeks ago, you talked about watching Nuki and laughing at it. Do you plan on doing the same thing for To Catch a Yeti? Man, I'll bet you that evil kid in that movie is still annoying as hell. But again, I feel like yeah, I mean, I don't know if I could find that one unintentionally funny. Like, maybe some of the effects, and if I was watching it with the right people, like Laura and her sister when we watched Nuki, some of the, like, the weird, awkward wave thing he does at the end would be funny watching it with a group. Nuki is more batshit than To Catch a Yeti, but To Catch a Yeti is still bad. We watched one that is, like, in that genre. We watched, Gooby, the one where Robbie Coltrane is the voice of like it's like if you crossed To Catch a Yeti with Ted. I mean, it is a kids movie, but it's the kid, his bear stuffed animal comes to life, and it's like a man in a costume, and he's voiced by Robbie Coltrane, and it was bad, but it was like the kind of bad that you expect that kind of movie to be. Like, I can't say I sat there really surprised by much about it. Whereas, like, Nuki and To Catch a Yeti are certainly full of surprises. So, To Catch a Yeti is a bigger bad movie than, like, Gooby. I don't think I'd call To Catch a Yeti standard by any stretch of the imagination. But I would maybe laugh at it if I watch it again. It all depends on the reaction of the other person I'm watching it with. Okay. Oh yeah, somebody mentioned too that Baby Huey movie. I'd also put in that genre. That was worse than Gooby. Jacob Matthew Crawford. As a lover of corny musicals, yeah, I am. What are your thoughts on the incredibly strange creatures who stopped living and became mixed up zombies? Classic Steckler. That's a Ray Dennis Steckler movie, man. Not one of his best. It's not one of the best Steckler movies I've seen. The best one with, at least the best one he's in. I love Wild Guitar, the Arch Hall Jr. movie, and Ray Dennis Steckler is in it. Wild Guitar is a really, really cool movie. But I would... maybe I should pick like another movie of his to do, a Steckler movie, because I know Mystery Science Theater covered incredibly strange creatures. Or maybe I should just do it. I've done some movies that have been featured on Mystery Science Theater. It's a bad one. It is, but you remember it. from the title. It's got that memorable title. It does. And then when you sit there and watch the movie, it is something to behold. Campbellzilla. Last week you talked about the 1996 movie Jack. Apparently John Travolta really wanted to play that role. How do you think that would have turned out? It probably would have, with Travolta in that role. I imagine if Travolta was in the role, it would have, the comedy would have been emphasized a lot less. Because when that movie came out, I'm not saying the movie would have been good necessarily, but when the movie came out, it was certainly promoted as a, silly Robin Williams comedy. If it was Travolta in the role, I imagine they would have played up the drama a bit more. It maybe would have felt more like a Coppola movie. Maybe. I'm only guessing. It might have been like just as silly. But I could see that being the case where you do kind of wonder how much of it was kind of reworked to turn itself into a Robin Williams comedy when he signed on to it. But who knows? Maybe if it could have been the Benjamin Button of its time. I still don't know if I'll do it. Eventually, I'll probably, if anything, I'll throw it in the talks box for possible poll choices to do that. But when I come back, which I'm gonna start working again next week. I'm going to start working on Snob episodes next week. Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey is going to be the first one when I come back. Okay. Machine Hunter OG. Hey, Brad, longtime fan of 10 plus years here. Just wanted to say that I've been really appreciating the Snob supercuts that have been coming out lately. Many blessings to you and your lovely family. Thank you. Thank you so much. I'm not sure if you mean the compilations or regardless. Thank you very much. The compilations, or I also do some shorts too, where I'll take especially if the cats are in an episode, I'll take some clips and edit like little Cinema Snob shorts on there and put up. So if you haven't seen those, check them out too. But also, if you mean the compilations I put up, again, thank you. There's one that I did put together that's still in copyright limbo. It's a compilation I put together for the High School Musical episodes, that trilogy. I don't know when that'll be cleared, but it's not the company that hit Christmas Evil way back when. So it's still going through appeals, but at least that one doesn't really have a time limit on it. It's all right if it goes up sometime after Halloween. Drunken Buddha, will you ever review any of the Dolomite sequels? I should, since I did the first one. I was in a crossover with Bennett on Human Tornado. But yeah, I've done stuff before where I've done like a solo episode of something that I've done like a crossover with. I would do Human Tornado. I would maybe hit some others before Human Tornado, like Disco Godfather. Disco Godfather is referenced enough in the movies that I've directed. Disco Godfather, I would Petey Wheatstraw. But yeah, I should do Human Tornado sometime. Then later there was I don't know how much this ties in, but later there was that one he did, Shaolin Dolomite, I think is what it was called. C. Rizzy, 1989. Hey, Brad, congrats on the baby. Thank you. My mom is always wanting new pics. Did you enjoy the Full Moon Kids films growing up? Like prehistoric. I remember prehistoric. I didn't watch a lot of those until later. I remember them, of course, because I would catch clips here and there on Showtime. But a lot of those I mainly remember from there would always be a giant cardboard standee of them at our video store. Now at that time, I was taking home a lot of slasher movies about every week. I was huge into slashers. That's why they have a special place in my heart up and continuing on to today. So I was renting a lot of stuff like that. I wasn't renting a lot of stuff at the time like Prehysteria, but I can still see the I can still see the cardboard standee of it in my head. Did they also put out, question for the chat, did they also put out like a gnome named Norm? If they didn't, it seems like something Full Moon Kids would put out. But no, I didn't catch a lot of those till later. Maybe I should do some of those sometime too. I actually want to add kids movie stuff to the Tox box. So adding Prehysteria would be a good idea. I've already added some kids movies in there, but yeah, I need to go ahead and do that. MH We Eat Nation message redacted. Well, thanks for the super chat still, by the way. Unless you just wanted me to read message redacted. But no, anyway, thank you. That still means a lot. Lenny Laserdiscs. Brad, have you ever shot a cinema snob that you thought would be a huge hit view-wise but didn't live up to the hype? Don't mean to bring a negative question to the table. I'm a huge fan. Oh, no, it's fine. That's a good question. It's hard to gauge that thing anymore because I'm being, trust me, I am being completely honest when I say this. I don't look at views very often, if at all, really, because so much of our revenue comes from the archive. They kind of stopped pushing a lot of newer stuff a while back and really emphasize a lot of our older stuff. Like, I remember, like, the year-end retrospectives, like, those do very, very well for us. And they get a big boost after they've been up for a while. There's a lot of stuff like that where they kind of sit in low view counts for a bit, and then a lot of time will go by, sometimes a year, sometimes more than that, and just the algorithm hits it at some point and it does well. But you know, I mean, we have over 2,000 videos, so as long as like stuff's getting promoted, we're good. Like, you know, sure, like you want new stuff to do well, but I'm able to do this for a living. Like, I have a family. I'm able to go see movies for my job, watch goofy stuff at home. As long as people are watching, even if it's an old video and like this is my pretty cool job, I'm good. And also because of that, I will say this. You do tend to, if you've got like that big of an archive with a lot of old stuff in it, it does give you a little bit more freedom to kind of do more stuff that you want. Like you know, it, like, I know not many people are going to watch me talk about what's that movie I did? Please Don't Touch Me, the Ron Ormond movie about the woman who doesn't want to sleep with her husband, so the guy hypnotizes her. I knew that like that's not gonna get pushed very high in the YouTube algorithm, but you know, I wanted to do it. There's a lot of material to work with. But again, like I said, that isn't to say that I just do that all the time. No. There's stuff where it's like I want to do this week because I know it's going to do well and I'm going to be taking some time off. So boom, Exorcist, boom, a couple of other stuff. And if they don't do well now, there's a lot of they're longer episodes, so there's more ads, and you look at it in a few years and it'll probably have done well. So that's kind of how I don't know. I've just been doing this a long time. That's kind of just how I look at it now. But everyone's channel's different. It helps that we've been doing it for a lot of years. Jacob Matthew Crawford, have you seen the 2011 anthology horror film The Theater Bazaar? It features segments directed by Douglas Buck, Richard Stanley, and Tom Savini. No, I haven't. I've actually not heard of it, I don't think. I'll look more into that, but no, I don't know that one. See, a couple people in the chat saw the a couple people in the chat saw the Please Don't Touch Me episode. I did like that episode. I love the Thunder Warrior ones too. Like, those are the episodes where it's like yeah, this is just for me. And the select few that'll really be into this. Please Don't Touch Me, the Thunder Warrior trilogy. What else? Crap, I can't. Anything that's got a big box, anything that's got a big box VHS behind me. Someone also mentioned in the chat too. Gnome Named Norm was a Vestron film intended for a theatrical release, went direct to video due to Vestron's failure. That was from Campbellzilla. See, someone in there knows their Gnome Named Norm history. I get it. I know plenty of Nuki history. I understand, man. MH we hate nation. MH we eat nation. I think every week I'm so sorry. I think every week I stumble on your name. MH we eat nation says, when the remake of the Toxic Avenger is officially out, is there going to be a snob episode on the original? I can easily predict that it is a contender of your best film of 1984. Damn right. That movie's in my top 5 favorite movies of all time. Of the movies to where it's like, I wouldn't be here today doing this for a living, or the movies I've made, the stuff I've written, if it wasn't for movies like The Toxic Avenger and directors like Lloyd Kaufman. Absolutely. That would be, doing an episode on that would definitely be a labor of love. It would be a big love letter to that movie and to Troma. So you're right. It probably, when I do 1984 in film, yeah, it probably will be my favorite movie of 1984. Oh, he asks, in terms of doing an episode on that, yeah, I probably will. It depends on when the movie comes out. But yeah, I should. I should do one on the Toxic Avenger. Do you also like the sequels too? Yeah, I think of the sequels, the fourth one, Citizen Toxie, I'd say is the best of the sequels. It's the one that feels a bit the most like the first one. I guess in terms of how the Toxic Avenger's portrayed in it. In 2 and 3, he's kind of portrayed not exactly like this, but almost like his voice is a bit different in 2 and 3. It's almost this kind of combo of like the Toxic Avenger and like a Woody Allen type voice in 2 and 3, and that's fine. I like 2 and 3. I do. The villain is having the time of his life in those movies. But the first one, I love that deep Toxic Avenger voice that he has, and when it first hits you with the voice too, it is the comedic timing in the Toxic Avenger is inspiring, right down to his voice reveal, because you see Melvin the Mop Boy early on. He's this little like weenie guy. He falls in the toxic ways. He turns into the Toxic Avenger. And then after that, you see like these bursts of violence from the Toxic Avenger where he's fighting these guys, and you just kind of noises like that. But when he talks, when he saves this woman, and it's so like it's like it's like 80 yard, but that's part of the joke. It's so fun. He just leans down and is just, I'm sorry, I don't know what came over me. And you can't do it justice by explaining it. You have to see it. But it's such a funny moment. The editing, the timing, and everything on that movie is so good that it is like this superhero moment with a superhero voice after a scene where he like gouges a guy's eyes out. It's so great. All right. Are there any any other super chat questions in there? All right. Well, I think we'll call it a night here, people. I wasn't sure if we'd go 50 minutes on the Jones Soda, which in fairness, we didn't. It was really only 10 minutes of me talking about that. And then talking about feces, urine, taking a dump, and then the super chat questions. All right, everyone. Thank you very much for watching. Load up my outro here. All right. I hope you all have a great weekend. Thank you so much. The Snob episodes will be back soon. And I'll have a review up later on, too, for the five. It won't be live, but a review up for the Five Nights at Freddy's movies. And check out my reviews, too, for Killers of the Flower Moon, and this Tiger Shroff movie I had to go see called Ganapath. So check those out. I posted those a couple of days ago. All right, everyone. Take care. Have a great week.